Hi guys, this is Imon. Hope you are well. Okay, today I'm going to discuss about offshore accident lawyer. So let's get started. What is offshore accident lawyer? So we can search on Google for knowing about offshore accident lawyer. If we search on Google, we'll get many kinds of website concerning offshore accident lawyer. Okay. There is an website concerning offshore accident lawyer. Often offshore accident lawyer working on offshore can be exciting, but it can also be dangerous. No matter how many safety precautions you take, accidents and injuries are common and sometimes fatal. Offshore workers can experience devastating injuries caused by dangerous condition on condition on offshore platforms, crew boats, jack-up rigs, and tankers, and in the ocean itself. Workers often aren't sufficiently trained and work long hours with few breaks, making the risk of injury even higher. When a serious injury occurs in an offshore accident, it can be emotionally and financially devastating for the victim. It can also be hard to determine where to start when it comes to recovering damage from personal injury or wrongful death. A good place to start to contact an Austin offshore accident lawyer with experience in personal injury and maritime law who can work through the complex details of your cause and help you to get the best recovery possible. Common cause of offshore accident lawyer. Common cause of offshore accidents. Offshore and oilfield accidents are often preventable. They can happen during the basket transfer, line handling, vessel collisions, and driving operations. Many accidents are the same as you would encounter in many workplaces, such as equipment failures and slip and falls. But because working offshore is a more high-risk workplace environment, an injury may also result from a fire or explosion. Despite the big budget associated with the oil industry, there is sometimes very little training and oversight on an oil rig. This type of employer negligence can result in an unsafe working environment that leads to underqualified employee performing dangerous tasks that they aren't properly trained for, resulting in serious injury. For resulting in serious injury, this type of employer negligence can result in an unsafe working environment that leads to underqualified employee performing dangerous tasks that they aren't properly trained for, resulting in serious injury. Offshore accidents commonly lead to head trauma, spinal injuries, severed limbs, and the other serious injuries. These injuries are often specifically caused by oil rig injuries. Workers on oil rigs use complex and cumbersome equipment to drill and perform other tasks. Many workers aren't properly trained on how to use the needed equipment, which increase the risk of offshore accident caused by human error. Deck accident. The deck of an oil rig can be a chaotic environment where transit workers must constantly be on high alert. Workers are surrounded by trip hazard, fall hazard, electrical hazard, crash hazard, and pinch point hazard. They can easily be struck by heavy equipment, slip on wet surface, fall when sudden loads of the vessel causes them to lose their balance. Equipment failure. When equipment on a offshore vessel fails, it can result in number of severe injuries. Workers can be burned or electrocuted, crushed, and even lost limbs. Operating machine on an oil rig requires a high level of caution to prevent injuries from occurring. Fires and explosion. While not common, fires and explosions are some of the most deadly causes of offshore accidents. They can happen as the result of improperly stored fuel, poorly maintenance the pipeline, and collision between vessels. When, when there is a fire, workers may have to jump off the rig into the ocean, often from a height of at least 100 feet, even though workers are typically trained in the proper way to jump. The stress of situation may result in a jump that leads to severe injury or drowning. Accident caused by fire and injury can lead to life-altering injuries and even the loss of an entire vessel, the people on it. So we should be very careful about it. We have to be very careful. We should keep bear in mind our life is very precious.